Hello, it's Michelle. Welcome to my channel. I've pulled out some hare books. If you're into hares, then maybe one of these might be something that you'd like, together with a lovely book which is great for beginners in watercolour. So let's start with the first of the hare books. And this one is more of a read, although it does have some little illustrations in. But if you like hares and you want to know more about them, this book is called The Private Life of the Hare by John Lewis Stemple. And to see when this was. 2019. First published 2019. So we've got a little poem at the beginning, and then my first hare in the prologue. We've got the private life of the hare, hunting the hare as food, the hare in myth and religion, the pet hares of William Cowper, and the hare today. So that's kind of what we've got in this book. My first hare, I love this. Long ago, there was a TV show for children called Play School. I remember it well, in which the audience at home were invited to look through either the square, the round, or the arched window at something interesting, or at least deemed noteworthy by adults. The programme hit a particular button with the young me because the house in which I lived, despite being ancient and stone, had an iron and glass porthole in the upstairs bathroom. There was no ocean outside the porthole, only a sea of crops or of earth, depending on the season. The house was in East Hertfordshire, as landlocked as it's possible to get in Britain. And one morning, when the dawn sun reddened the world, he said he stood on a chair, looked out of the bathroom porthole at the field. He was about 7 or so. He was half-heartedly washing his face with a flannel, and out of the lapping waves of ploughed clay, a hare suddenly sat up. There you go. So I won't spoil it for you and read the rest. And of course, we have the hare in Alice in Wonderland. So yeah. And then we've got the private life of the hare, and he makes it quite clear a hare is not a rabbit. And the way that he writes is really nice and easygoing, if you like, and it's just a little bit of interest around hares if you love hares. We've got little bits of poetry thrown in as well. He talks about the hares of Britain and Ireland. Obviously, if you're in the States or elsewhere, you might not be as interested in this particular chapter. But we've got the different types of hares, the mountain hare, the Irish hare. Another little poem here. And then hares have been hunted by man from the beginning of painted time. Oh, there is an engraved hare on the wall of the Grotte de Gabio. Not sure if I said that right. Gabio, I would say, in the Dordogne region of France. In all likelihood, the Paleolithic artist intended his reputation as a magical aid in the hunt for the hare and the sating of the stomach. So, yeah, a little bit about hunting the hare, which has been done, as he said, since time immemorial. The hare as food. And it's just interesting little snippets of information about hares. The hare and the tortoise. The hare in myth and religion. So if you want a little bit of a easy read, the Hare and Christianity, Hare superstitions, the Witch of Easington. Oh, that sounds interesting. The Pet Hares of William Cowper. So he kept them as pets. Hare Proverbs and the Hare Today. So there you go, a little bit of a flick through. And there we have John Lewis Stemple. He's a writer and farmer. His previous books include The Wild Life, A Year of Living on Wild Food, Meadowland, The Private Life of an English Field, which won the 2015 Wainwright Prize, The Running Hare, The Secret of Farmland, which was shortlisted for the 2017 Wainwright Prize. So, and I could go on. But yeah, it's a really interesting little book about hares. The next one is just simply called The Hare Book. And there are other books, I think, in the series. Probably tells you somewhere at the back here, or maybe not. Why is a hare not a rabbit? The hare in nature, the brown hare, the mountain hare, the Irish hare, the hare in danger, hare encounters, the hare in myth and legend, the old hare in spring, the hare in art and literature. So those are your chapters. This, if you like drawing, painting hares, then the colour photographs in here are rather magical. So I'm hoping that you can see these as I turn them around. I've seen that looking through from Tyrrell's Wood onto the farmland beyond. We quite often see hares. So I would say that this one gives you wonderful photographs as well as all the information that you would want to know about hares. So I think you get the gist of this one with its wonderful photographs. And yeah, let's just go to the hare in art and literature. So you can see we've even got hares in these manuscripts. Oh, William Cowper again. A Russian folk tale. That's rather stunning, isn't it? Wow, what a lovely idea. I might borrow that idea, not to copy what's in it, but the kind of looking through a stained glass window. Oh, a hare on a weather vane. Now, I'm not sure I've ever seen one. That's stunning. And of course, hares in lino cut, and obviously carved out of wood. That's an interesting one. And I think somewhere, yeah, the artworks, it tells you all about the artworks and the photography credits. So, yeah, another lovely little book with photographs in as well as information, the Hare book. And then this is something quite different altogether, The Hare and the Moon, a calendar of paintings by Catherine Hyde. Just take my bookmark out. This is just a joy to look at. That's done in the month of the year. So this is January. Look at these gorgeous paintings. January's tree. Oh, hold on. So we have January's flower, January's tree, January's bird, and then we move into February. And there's our picture with the hare in. There's February's flower and February's tree. So that's the kind of, and February's bird. But I mean, I'm just loving these pictures. We're into March. The tree and the bird. I mean, although it's called the Hare and the Moon, and you have a hare for each month, or a hare picture, should I say. So there's our little hare. But we've also got these flowers, trees, and birds for each of the months. So you're getting the gist now. So I'll just kind of flick through a little bit. I mean, look at that. I just think it's a gorgeous book to look through. There we go with our teasels. Look at the owl and the moon. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful paintings. So, oh, look at that one. So if you're looking for some new ideas, obviously not to copy directly, but Catherine Hyde, about the artist. She lives with her family in Cornwall, where she also runs her own business producing greeting cards of her work, as well as fine quality limited edition prints, which she sells in the UK and America. All her picture books have been nominated for the prestigious Kate Greenaway Award, and she was the winner of the English Association Best Illustrated Book Award for the Princess Blankets. Oh, there we go. So, yes, this is a stunner of a book. If you've never come across it and you're into hares, but also we've got those flowers, trees and birds for each month of the year. And if you're a beginner in watercolour, then I think this is another good book. There are others that I've already probably recommended on my channel, but this one is Watercolour in Nature. It says paint woodland, wildlife and botanicals with 20 beginner-friendly projects by Rosalie Hazlett. Try and get a bit more of this in. There we go. So we've got getting started, how to use the book, gathering your materials, introduction to ink, introduction to watercolour. Let's paint. Ink and watercolour, the magic combination. Watercolour, take the plunge and a step further. So I love this. Slow down and zoom in. So we've got our getting started, how to use the book, gathering materials, and then we've got some textures that you can do with your pen, warm and cool colours, and then we've got building up layers, the wet on dry method, paint blending, colour mixing. Let's paint. So these are the projects that are in the book. And ink and watercolour, the magic combination, starting out with a pen drawing and adding watercolours on top. So the first project is this Daisy, and she gives us the paints: cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, quite standard colours. And with each one there is a skill to acquire. This one is how to break down your subject into basic shapes to simplify the drawing process. And you will see we've got step by step by step all these different steps, and I love the fact that we've got these little bits that are telling you which colour to use where, and that is a mix of burnt umber and ultramarine blue. And we have the same for each of the projects. So 3 colours are used for the moth, the skill being how to make your subject look hairy. Oh, there you go. And broken down into all these steps again. We've got the mushroom. Skill to acquire is how to paint a smooth gradient to transition between 2 colours. So each time there's a skill to acquire. I love the fact that we get these little photos, we get this finished painting, colours that we're going to be using, how to paint and draw a paper-like texture. So there we go. And you even get like magnified bits to show you. So it goes on with all of the different projects in the book. And with each project that you do, you will learn a new skill. Does it have anything else at the back? Let me just check. Right, so that's our final project. And then we've got this a step further. Take your own reference photos. Add a background. Sketch outside. Practice your observation skills, making things into simple shapes. And a little thank you. So, I think if you're starting out, because you're going to be acquiring a new skill with each of the projects in this book, and all of the colours that I used are the kind of, the kind of standard colours that you would get in a beginner's set of 12 or 24 paints. You know, the kind of classic 12, 24 half pan sets of paints that you would get. So you know, you're going to easily be able to follow with the same paints as the artist has used, so that you're going to get good results. So there we are. Watercolour in Nature by Rosalie Hazlitt. And I think all of these books have something to offer, particularly if you're into hares. You've got something really fun to read. You've got lovely photographs in this one, and then you've got artwork in this one, and this wonderful beginner's book. So that is my offering from my watercolour, well, art bookshelf, I suppose, or bookshelves, that I'm going to share with you today. Hope you found that interesting, and I'll see you again soon.